So this is our home. It's 2.5 bedrooms, though we're hoping that this will be a third bedroom for our baby. Yeah. But all the bedrooms are downstairs.
Fantastic. So we can have a walk around.
Yeah, let's go.
All right.
Hayley Muller lives in Auckland's West Harbour with her husband and their 3 children. It's $665 a week to rent their place. Hayley says that's a pretty great price. Other rentals they looked at were around $850. At the moment, she's taking care of their 9-month-old baby and their 6- and 3-year-old boys. In the winter, it costs about $250 a month to heat the home. Groceries are $300 a week and childcare is $220. And 30% of their weekly household income goes towards rent.
We can't necessarily look forward to saving a whole lot for buying our own home. So that's something that you struggle with. If you're renting, how much money do you have left to actually save to buy your own place?
While they're okay with that for now, it's confronting being at the mercy of someone else. This is their 6th home in 6 years.
It's tough. It's nerve-wracking. For us, the last time it was around Christmas, and you have to sort of start manifesting a sense of trust that it's going to be okay, because it's really scary not knowing if you're going to have a home to live in. And we actually moved out of that house on the day we had to.
Hayley says they love their rental, but being renters means uncertainty hangs over them and they never feel fully settled.
There's always that inherent fear that the landlord, well within their rights, will decide, I'm actually selling.
Hayley is part of a growing trend of New Zealanders who don't own their home. Home ownership in New Zealand has dropped to below 60%, according to a recent report by Deloitte that was commissioned by Westpac. It's now at its lowest rate in almost 80 years. The report reflects Hayley's reality, outlining how half of renters spend more than 30% of their income on rent. For communications student Amani Sadiq, the Mount Albert 5-bedroom flat she's lived in since April last year swallows up almost 40% of her income.
So here's a lounge, pretty huge and spacious. We have enough room to dry our clothes because our dryer doesn't really work.
Amani's only just become eligible for the student allowance due to immigrating from the UK. Previously, she worked up to 20 hours a week to make ends meet. Now her budget's a bit more flexible.
I get $100 a week from living costs, and then I get $200 from student allowance, which I don't have to pay back. And then from the 8 hours that I work at my part-time job, I get around $170.
That brings her weekly income to $470. Aside from rent, about $20 goes towards bills, $20 on public transport, and $80 towards groceries. She also goes to a dance class once a week, which costs $25. That leaves about $150 left over. The whole flat costs $950 a week, and the flatties say they're pretty happy with the price. But the house is cold and it costs a lot to heat, plus they use dehumidifiers. And they're not sure whether the flat is fully insulated. In winter, they wear their puffer jackets indoors.
I do buy, just from a dollar store, little damp roods now and again whenever they get too full, just because I have this specific pair of shoes which are leather, and no matter how much I wipe them or how I store them, they just keep getting mold growing on them. I know that some of the other flatties have it worse. The one that's moving out, she said recently she did a clear out and a lot of her clothes had mold on it.
Just a few days after Checkpoint visited, they were given notice from their landlord that they need to move out. Now Amani's facing a similar situation she was in just a year ago, trying to find a rental that fits her budget.
It was basically, if I don't have a place within 4 weeks, I've got nowhere to go. And I did feel really hopeless at one point.
Back to the drawing board, on the hunt for an affordable rental.